Your heart is racing. Your breathing is fast. Are you stressing over a big test? Rooting for your favorite team? Getting ready for the most epic rap battle in history? As it turns out, our bodies have pretty similar responses for both anxiety and excitement, which is why you might feel tense during any of those situations. Those physical reactions are caused by our bodies communicating within themselves. And the more we learn about this internal communication, the better we are at understanding how we've survived and evolved long enough to invent pop quizzes. I mean, you gotta be pretty secure as a species to introduce that kind of stressor. Hi, I'm Dr. Sammy, your friendly neighborhood entomologist, and this is Crash Course Biology. Also, do you feel that tingle on the back of your neck? Because that's your body communicating that you're ready for this funky theme music. We multicellular organisms are a lot like boy bands. In a boy band, you've got singers that need to work together to make one super catchy song. They can't all be solo artists doing whatever makes each of them look best. If everyone starts singing in their own key, things are gonna get weird. No one will be in sync or going in one direction. The same is true if you're an organism made of lots of cells. To grow and develop, maintain an immune system, and respond to the ever-changing world around you, your cells and organs have to create some beautiful harmonies working together for the good of the group. In this case, your body. Otherwise, things fall apart faster than the career of a solo Jonas brother. Vertebrates, or animals with backbones like yours truly, have two main systems for making this happen: the nervous system and the endocrine system. You can learn more about the nitty-gritty of how they work back in episode 25. But right now, we're going to take more of a bird's eye view. Let's start with the nervous system, which includes the brain, spinal cord, and the spidery collection of nerves traveling from an animal's head to its toes, or its tail fin. This system has three main jobs: collecting information about the environment inside and outside of the body, processing that information in the central nervous system, aka the brain and spinal cord, and responding to that information by sending signals to various cells. Consider this scenario. You walk into class and see pop quiz written on the board. The sense of sight is one of the ways that your nervous system collects information. That information goes from your eyes to your brain, which processes those words and the fact that you definitely did not do the reading. In response, your brain sends signals to the rest of your body that it is panic time. And suddenly, your heart is going so fast that your smartwatch thinks that you're exercising. In real time, though, we almost never notice this happening. We read pop quiz and boom, it's all panic and no disco. That's because the signals in the nervous system can travel fast, anywhere from half a meter per second to 120 meters per second. This is also why you can usually catch your phone the second it starts to fall, and why a fish doesn't need to stare at a shark for long before realizing that they should bolt. That said, the nervous system is mostly for short-term responses in the body, not long-term ones. It's great for a high five or a thumbs up, but not so useful when we need to regulate our hormonal cycles. Additionally, not every cell can talk to the nervous system. This group text is limited to special cellular messengers called neurons, and any cell that can get signals from neurons, like muscle cells. And even then, the neurons are basically whispering, so to actually hear the message, a cell has to be right next door. Let's see this in action over in the thought bubble. You just stepped on a Lego. My condolences. The moment your foot landed on that colorful torture device, sensory receptors that branch from the neurons in your feet sounded the alarm. This hurts a lot. It can seem instantaneous, but for a merciful fraction of a second, your brain doesn't know about the Lego. Cue the slow-mo. The signal from your sensory receptors has to first travel along your neurons from your foot to your brain. When the message reaches the end of one neuron, it encounters a tiny gap called a synapse. To keep the message going, neurons release molecules called neurotransmitters, which carry the message across the gap and onto the next neuron, and the next, like a line of dominoes falling over, until the signal hits your brain. Once that last domino falls, it's goodbye bliss and hello pain. Your brain uses that pain as data and tells your body to move to safety by sending a signal to your muscles, also known as a motor output. And as fast as you can, you escape to a clear patch of floor. Let's just hope no one's left a rogue banana peel behind. Thanks, Thought Bubble. Our sensory receptors are always taking in information about what we see, hear, taste, and touch, plus information about things like balance and what's going on inside our bodies from our temperature to our blood pressure. Some animals even have sensory receptors that give them information about electric and magnetic fields, like the internal magnetic compass that helps monarch butterflies navigate nearly 3,000 miles each year to Mexico. Though we're pretty sure humans don't have those, but research is ongoing. In any case, this information is all used in more or less the same way. The signals from the receptors travel along neurons, jump synapses, and get processed by the central nervous system, and then trigger a response. This kind of communication helps animals survive in some obvious ways, like letting us know if we touch a hot surface, or that danger is around if we hear the roar of a predator, and some less obvious ways, like figuring out what foods are safe to eat based on how they taste. So, sweet foods tell us that something is rich in energy-packed carbs. Salty equals minerals, sour means acid, like in rotten food, and many plant poisons are bitter. When the central nervous system processes these sensations, our brain learns what's safe to eat and what's probably bad for us. While the nervous system is all about getting things done fast, like tasting a flavor as soon as it hits your tongue, we know that it isn't as good at playing the long game. Thankfully, that's where the endocrine system comes in handy. In humans, it includes glands and organs throughout the body, from the hypothalamus in the brain to the adrenal glands on top of the kidneys to the reproductive organs. It works more slowly than the nervous system, but the results often stick around a lot longer. This is because the endocrine system doesn't primarily rely on neurons. It sends messages using hormones instead. Hormones are basically just molecules secreted into the blood, which carries them to organs and tissues to make things happen. You may have heard about estrogen or testosterone, human reproductive hormones, but those are just the tip of the hormonal iceberg. Others make you sleepy. Some respond to stress, and still others regulate how much glucose and calcium are kicking around in your bloodstream. Like with the nervous system, not every cell can communicate with every type of hormone, but the ones that can interpret the signal are called target cells. It's like how if you speak to me in Dothraki instead of English, I just won't get the message, no matter how many times you repeat yourself. But unlike with the nervous system, a target cell doesn't have to be right next to the gland releasing the hormone to get the message. Hormones can hop on the bloodstream highway and reach a target cell anywhere in the body. This system takes a little longer to ramp up, but once it does, the changes tend to last longer too. For instance, the hormone adrenaline helps get your body ready for stressful events by sending a big-time rush of blood to up your heart rate and prep your muscles for exertion, among other things. As you're being strapped into a roller coaster, it might take a minute for your body to realize what's about to happen and start sending out adrenaline. And on the flip side, even once you're off the ride and toddling towards the nearest bathroom, it'll take your heart a few minutes to come back down. That's hormonal communication at work. And you might be wondering, Dr. Sammy, how does my endocrine system know that I'm about to get on a roller coaster anyway? There aren't endocrine glands in my eyeballs. Well, this is where the endocrine and nervous systems team up. They work together to send both fast and slow messages around the body. For example, some hormones can act like neurotransmitters, and vice versa. The nervous system has cells that can make endocrine glands release hormones. So, say a gazelle smells a lion on the wind. The signal hits the gazelle's brain, and its central nervous system shoots a message to the muscles to get out of there. But a signal also goes to the gazelle's adrenal glands in their endocrine system, giving them the cue to release adrenaline and get their heart rate and breathing up so they're ready to escape. Unfortunately, it also kicks in when you have to take a test that you haven't studied for. Your body thinks you're in danger and fully opens your adrenaline taps. You might even hear this referred to as your body's fight or flight response. But don't try and fight your test. You got this. You got this. The good news is, like we mentioned in the intro, this system also kicks in when you're super excited. In fact, some psychologists have suggested that one way to fight anxiety is to think about stuff you're nervous about as if it's exciting instead. Our body's internal communication systems, from the nervous to the endocrine, have helped us to be aware of and respond to our environments, keeping us from feeling like the new kids on the block every time something changes. And we can also learn to use these systems to our advantage, like understanding how to stop pop quizzes from freaking us out, even if only a little. In our next episode, we're going to find out where babies come from. Yep, we'll be talking about reproduction. See you then. Peace. This series was produced in collaboration with HHMI Biointeractive. If you're an educator, visit biointeractive.org/crash course for classroom resources and professional development related to the topics covered in this course. Thanks for watching this episode of Crash Course Biology, which was filmed at our studio in Indianapolis, Indiana, and was made with the help of all of these nice people. If you want to help keep Crash Course free for everyone forever, you can join our community on Patreon.